glad to see all of you spending your precious midnight here. Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to all of you to the CEO series organized by Young Corporate Malaysia. A quick word about tonight's program. We shall begin with a talk by our honorable speaker, Mr. Sajith Sivanandan, country head of Google Malaysia. This will be followed. This will be followed by a short Q&A session when you will be free to exchange your ideas with him. So, in just a few minutes, Mr. Sajith here is going to share with you his insight and expert knowledge how Google touch our life and talk about what they look for in people looking to join Google. Before that, may I invite Christopher Top, co-founder of YCM, to say a few words to explain what YCM is all about. So, Christopher,
good evening, everyone. I'm glad to see all of you here today. A lot of you young people, and like me. And to be honest with you, YCM started off very little resources. We basically were driven by our passion. You know, we had no money, we had no, we had basically nothing much, but just a bit of sponsorship and a bit of encouragement from our CEOs who have been supporting us. And it's great to see that we've grown so much. You know, this is our 32nd series of the CEO series, and we have 2 summits as of now. We've pretty much grown a huge sponsorship database, and that is really, these are the guys that make all this happen. So really a big applause to all these. And obviously we have a lot to thank to the conveners around here. A lot of us, from the beginning, we've been here. From 2007, was it? 2008 in-ish. And we've grown a bit, we've got other volunteers coming along. So again, if you think you have a passion, you know, we don't require your money, we just need your time. So all you need to do is just contact one of us. Well, these are the guys standing in front of the middle. There's a Lopez behind, all over there. And one from up the house, who is our chairman, who's not here today, which is why I'm speaking today. I'm not a very good speaker, but yeah, I love to do for today. So yeah, if you have any interest in joining us in our journey to create and develop Malaysia by, I don't know, 2020, the year, please do join us. And before I end, I'd like to thank again Mr. Sajith for coming here. I mean, I think it's a privilege to have you aboard. So thank you once again for coming over, and I hope you enjoy the session.
Thank you, Doc. So let me not spend so much of your time. I'm sure you want to hear from Mr. Sajith here, not me tonight. So if I may, I will introduce Mr. Sajith. Previously, he was the head of travel for Google Southeast Asia, where he looked after the growth of Google online advertising business in the travel sector for the region. Before Google, Sajith was the Director of Marketing Development and Consumer Insight in UK. He holds a master's degree in Business Management with distinction majoring in Finance from the Asian Institute of Management, an MBA majoring in Marketing from the Ford School of Management in New Delhi, and a bachelor's degree with an honor majoring in History from Delhi UC. So without further ado, may I now pass the floor to you, Mr. Sajith Sivanandan.
Thank you. It's very kind. I mean, Google started in a garage, and you know, we've obviously grown from there. So it's great to be able to see, you know, a group of young Malaysians putting this together. I gather it started in a bungalow, in a far-off place, and you know, maybe 7, 8 people used to turn out for that. And look how far we've come. So kudos and well done. You know, I mean, this is what we need. It's better to be part of something rather than be bystanders and talk about it from outside. So I feel very brave standing here because I think I stand between you and dinner, and that is never a good thing because you know, you guys have had a long day at work. You're here. So what I wanted to do is I'm going to spend some time talking about Google. I'm going to give some examples. I'm going to talk in specific. I wanted to talk about our mission statement because I've been working for 16, 17 years, and I find our mission statement very inspiring. And so I wanted to walk you through our mission statement. And in doing so, I hope you'll kind of get a sense of what it is that we do, how we do it. When we end, I'd love to take any and all questions. I'm not going to spend any of my time in terms of, when I present, talking about what kind of people we look for. I'm going to answer that through questions when all of you will hopefully ask me some. So why don't we start with sort of understanding what our mission statement is. And just before I carry on, in that back row there, I used to be a backbencher myself. Can you guys see clearly? Okay, cool. So our mission statement, and please, you know, I wanted to ask, most of you heard of our mission statement before? Have you at any point in time encountered this anywhere? It's very ambitious to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. It's incredibly bold. Our chairman, Eric Schmidt, said that this is like a 300-year kind of goal, right? And in fact, he says you'll never get it because there's so much information being created. How do you ever catch up with that, right? So let's kind of break this up into parts, and let's talk a little bit about what we do from an organizing perspective, right? What is it that we do to organize this, right? So I wanted to show you something. I mean, you'll see this, you can't really see it that clearly on the screen, but this is a map of the world back in the late 90s, early 2000. Those dots are actually Google searches around the world, right? And you'll see that there are some obvious suspects. You know, you'll see there's New York. You'll see in the center there's, you know, UK, Western Europe. You'll see Japan on the right. And that was back then, 2000, right? And you'll see that there are dark areas. South America is a little bit, but you'll start to see that, you know, Africa, very dark, not so much. Australia, a little bit around here, but not so much. So one of our engineers decided that this doesn't look too good. And 6, 7, 8 years down the line, and have you guys heard of 20% time in Google? You know, engineers get that, they do all kinds of cool things. So this guy decided this is not an attractive way to present what's happening in terms of, you know, the world's information. So what he did was, he decided to build this tool, this incredible tool. There's actually a giant version of this in our headquarters in Mountain View. And what it does is, I mean, if you start to see, this starts to, the different rays that come out are the different languages. So at any point in time, there are hundreds of languages being searched on Google. And the height of these, you know, the height of these rays are like, you know, the intensity of searches. So there's so much of search happening every day, everywhere, right? It's incredible. And I wanted to show you this example because it's also just goes to show that if you just put some little bit of time aside out from your daily job, what you do every day, who knows what you can create, right? So you need to think about this from that perspective, but just wanted to give you that example. Who of you have used Google Instant? Have you used Google Instant? You know what it is? It seems to be some, I'll take it as most of you have heard it. I think it's an incredible product. Not because I happen to be from Google, but we've really transformed the way that people interpret speed online, right? And how quick it is. So what I did was, I thought to myself, how can I best illustrate this to you? And I wanted to illustrate not only speed, but how much we are learning because of all the searches we get, and how we're very, very quickly able to actually predict what it is that you're looking for. So what I did was, how many of you have heard of the Beatles? I know it's well before your time, but have you guys heard of the Beatles? Right? So the Beatles were a pop group, and you know, very, very popular. For those of one or two of you who are nodding your heads saying no, very popular by this, and they had a song called "Hey Jude." Right? So I took that from YouTube, and then I decided to search at the same time. And I want you to see what happens when you play the song and you're searching for the lyrics.
Hey Jude, Don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better.
You get the idea. This, I mean, Google's actually predicting, reading your mind, if you will.
Then you can start to make it.
So you get the idea. I mean, what I wanted to show you is the power of technology and the power of creativity, because technology in of itself doesn't do anything. It's the creativity that each and every one of you brings to the table that makes a difference and can translate technology into creativity like this. So it comes together, right? I mean, you've got this incredible confluence of what you do online and us being able to help you do that better. Because you clearly want to listen to the song and you want to know the lyrics. People like me, I can never remember lyrics. This is a great way. I can sing along. You know, I've got my own jukebox and my own karaoke machine. So this is great. So another thing that we've done is, basically help from an organizing perspective. There's so many places that all of us want to go to. And I'm from India, and it's a country of over 1 billion people. 990 million of us, or maybe slightly less, maybe 900 million of us have never really even gone out. We're a very modest country. So how do we help people dream? How do we help people explore and see what's really out there? Because who knows, someday maybe I can go there, right? So you've heard of products like Maps, Street View, and all of that. So we brought this together, and I wanted to show you something. So let's say if you wanted to go to New York, and you were searching for this, and you said, I wanted to go to Times Square, and you wanted to go to the theater district. Now, you can start to look at this in 3D, right? And let's say you identify where it is that you want to go to. And if you did that, you click on that, you get taken there. And this is incredible, right? So now all of a sudden, you're there. And you can see what Broadway looks like. And you know what's happening there. And just so you know, these are the sort of things that we want to bring to Malaysia as well. And we will be. So again, very powerful. You know, how technology, how what we do, helps organize all the information that we have. So we've talked about organizing, and we do this through various ways, but there's a vast amount of information out there, isn't there? I mean, there's incredible amounts of information that each and every one of you are creating. Right now, some of you are tweeting, you're creating information. Right now, some of you are going to be updating Facebook, creating information. Somebody's writing a blog somewhere, creating information. There's so much information being created. So what is it that we're doing? So I'm going to use a slightly wacky example. Let's say if one of you wanted to explore Antarctica, you know, and don't say that it's not useful. For the 2 people that it's useful to, it makes a difference to them, doesn't it? Right? So if you wanted to go there, you can actually, through Street View and through a combination of maps, actually go there and see. And if it's penguins you were looking for, find penguins as well. Right? So again, incredible example of how you could use technology. This, what I'm going to show you next, is it goes back to the point that I made before. I'm not inclined to art. You know, I don't know what a great painting is from a not so good painting. But some of you know. All of us have heard of Vincent van Gogh, for instance, right? Great painter. But it's unlikely, for instance, that most of us will go to the Museum of Modern Art and actually see one of his paintings. What we've done through this project called Art Project is we've combined the technologies that we've used on Street View with taking people into museums. And I wanted to share this example with you simply because it's incredible in terms of what we can do to show you the artist's work. It's almost as if you were in the room while Van Gogh was painting. And you can see the brush strokes, you can see how detailed it is, you can see what the artist must have done, thought, And this is truly incredible, right? You can start to see how clear it becomes. This is like tens and hundreds of megapixels that you can start to see. So it's information, but it's the way we want to bring it to users such as yourselves that makes a difference to us as a company. Right? So you'll see this examples, and you can imagine being able to go into the Museum of Modern Art in San Francisco without so much as having to leave your room in Kuala Lumpur. It's inspiring. So